and welcome to this installment of Giving Back, the program that is designed to help you know about all of the great nonprofits here on Nantucket, what they're doing, and who's kind of doing it. So my name is Art Bergeron. My day job is as an elder law attorney, and I've been here for a number of years. I've done a lot of stuff at the Salt Marsh, but then I semi-retired last year so that I could focus on specifically helping people in the communities in which I have worked know about the nonprofits that are in their communities so that I can encourage those people to be supporting those nonprofits and giving back. So I enlisted my friend Sunny Daly as the co-host of this show because she knows everybody and knows all of the folks and has helped most of these nonprofits. And this show has gone so well that we actually have a returning guest by popular demand. And Sunny, whom do we have today,
yes,
whom we've seen before?
Yes, so my name is Sunny Daly. I'm the Executive Director of the Community Foundation for Nantucket, and we are a resource on island for both nonprofits and for donors who care about Nantucket. And I'm very happy to welcome back Janis. Janis is the Executive Director at Nantucket Food, Fuel, and Rental Assistance.
Janis who?
Carreiro.
Thank you.
Usually I like to have people say their own last names because sometimes I mess it up, but she'll correct me if I'm wrong. And she's back by popular demand because we started to talk about the Food Pantry, which I'm going to ask her for a quick recap, but then we left out all the other programs. So today we're hoping to kind of cover more of the food, fuel, and rental assistance, and then there's also a medical travel program. So thank you so much, Janis, for coming back.
We had so much fun.
We had so much fun.
Glad to be back.
So we have to say, we're asking, give us a brief recap, a 1-minute recap of the Food Pantry, knowing that you have 14 minutes in which to talk about everything else.
Okay, very quickly. I think when I was here last time, I talked about the Food Pantry in great detail and about the rental assistance program in some detail. I think most people who are on the island are familiar with the Nantucket Food Pantry. We provide food for those individuals who cannot secure all of the food that they need for themselves and their families. The Food Pantry operates 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. We provide food to approximately 2,000 island families in a year. The rental assistance program, which I talked about, provides temporary rental assistance who folks are facing a particular financial situation where they cannot pay their rent or all of their rent, or maybe facing potential homelessness because they were unable to pay their rent. And in that program, we help approximately 100, 120 families per year. It is short-term rental assistance. It is paid to the owner of the residence. It is not paid to the tenant. The applicant goes through a vetting process with us so that we can determine that the need is actually there. And when it exists, where it exists, we work with the client to determine how much assistance they need. In some instances, because they're ill and not working, they may need full rent for a few months, or they may be on unemployment in the off-season, and they only need with help with a portion of their rent. So we're there during those periods of time when folks need a little bit of assistance to stay housed and avoid being homeless.
And Janis, the funds that you're providing, those funds are all from private sources. These aren't government funds. So these are really folks who really haven't been able to, for whatever reason, qualify for any government assistance.
The funding we received, we received them from grants, grants and donations. We do have 2 government grants from the Community Preservation Committee, which helps us with housing under their affordable housing program. And we receive a grant from the town under its Human Services grant. And that grant helps for the operation of the program to make it, essentially to make it happen. All of the other funding comes from donations and local grants and some other grants that are in the housing field. So today I'd like to focus on 2 of the smaller programs that we operate. one being a utility assistance program, which goes kind of hand in hand with rental assistance, and the other being an off-island medical travel assistance program. The utility assistance program really has three legs. Number one, in around the 2012 or 14, 2012 to 13 timeframe, the town had been the local contractors, so to speak, in helping individuals apply for the state low-income energy assistance program. They would do the application. It would go to a contractor in Plymouth who would apply the state program. That is a low-income program by its definition, low-income energy assistance. It assists individuals at about the 50% area median income range. And the town asked that we take over that program. And in that program, we simply sit with individuals, help them fill out an application, which is then sent to the contractor, onto the state, and if they are found eligible, they receive a benefit which is sent directly to their heating vendor. It's principally for heating, oil, propane, and electricity, to the point where if you're found eligible, you get a reduction in the rate from R1 to R2. The second prong of the utility program, we were contacted by the, oh goodness, it's gone out of my mind at the moment, but it's the Good Energy program of the Salvation Army. And they needed a local contractor to help them administer that program on island. It is a one-time small benefit that goes to individuals who do not qualify for the state program. And we help with that application process. We send it on to the Salvation Army, and the benefit goes to the vendor again. But as time went on, and particularly with COVID, it became quite apparent that we needed to do something more, because there are individuals who don't qualify for the LHEAP program. There are people who, the Salvation Army program is a one-time, very small benefit, was not helping. So this is an interesting story. We were contacted by a funder in Boston who was managing a private personal trust, much like your bequest situation, which was created in the late 1800s to assist widows and orphans of Nantucket. That fund had been working for several years with some of the local utility vendors on island to distribute the proceeds of that fund. But the funder decided that it would be more appropriate if a nonprofit 501c3 could independently look at the applications and then work with the client, determine need, and then work with the local vendors to provide that assistance. So we became that program, and we began administering that program. Essentially, we were providing 1 or 2 utility payments to folks who met the criteria. Again, it became obvious that there was more need than there were funds from that one fund. So we began to go for other donations and some grants to assist with that program. It is of the programs that we administer, it is the one that has the least amount of funding. So we basically help about 40 to 50 island families. Because of the limited amount of funding that we have, we can only pay or assist to pay 1 or maybe 2 utility bills, and we give priority to those who are facing shutoff. And then in that instance, we will work with the island vendor in the case of heating, or we will work with National Grid in terms of electricity, and we will work to provide an assistance level that will allow the individual to be put on a budget plan. Oddly enough, you cannot be put on a budget plan with many of the heating and even with National Grid vendors unless you are current in your account. So we work with those vendors to not only provide immediate assistance to avoid shut-off, but also to get the individuals current enough so that they can be put on a budget plan. And the last program that we operate is a medical travel assistance program, which actually came out of the CHIP granting program that was part of building the hospital. In getting funding for the hospital, they had to give so much back to the community.
Yep.
And we were fortunate enough to secure a grant which is managed by the Community Foundation, from which we get the dividends or the proceeds every year, to help lower income individuals, generally at the 60 to 50% area median income level, to be able to travel off island for needed medical assistance. Everyone who lives on this island knows that you cannot secure 100% of the medical assistance you need on this island. Sometimes folks are medevaced and need to find a way to get back. Some folks can't even go to their initial appointment because they have to get off the island. They have to get to Boston or Falmouth or the various places where they're seeking medical treatment. So our goal, our method, our business reason for being is to help these individuals get off. So we will help with payments for ferry reservations, for car rentals, for parking at the hospital, and those kinds of things. The one proviso I would say that exists in our program is that we provide benefits for treatment for other than cancer, which is handled by the Mala Lamb Fund, or for residential mental health assistance, which is provided by the Andrew Glidden Fund. But everything else we will assist with, whether that be an emergency appendectomy where a child is sent to Boston, certainly other kinds of hip replacements, everything you can think of where an individual needs to go off island.
That's a lot of stuff.
I know, it's a mouthful when you say the name of the organization, but then when you really dig into what it is you do, it's even more than what people really understand.
It keeps us busy, yes.
So I remember at the end of our last show, right? Just like at the end of this now, we want to tell folks, so they're doing a lot of stuff. This is a big deal in terms of really what the things that need to happen on Nantucket. If they want to reach you, if folks want to volunteer, if folks want to donate, who should they be calling? Who should they be calling? And what's the connection?
Well, we do have a website, www.assistnantucket.org, and a plethora of information is on that website about how do you apply for all of our various programs. We have application forms on there. If you would like to volunteer, how you go about doing that. And of course, if you would like to donate, which we greatly, greatly appreciate, you can do so that way as well. There is a button. But that notwithstanding, some folks would like a more personal touch. So you can call me at 508-901-1320, and we will get you in touch with myself, or if you're interested in food security, you can talk to myself and to our food pantry manager, Ruth Pitts, and we will get you the information you need, and thank you very much for your donation when that is the case.
So, and thank you very much. So Janis is just one of those folks who is just, she and her organization are just providing fundamental services. They need support. One of the goals of short-term giving is to make sure that support is there. One of the points of legacy giving is to make sure that support is there forever. And one of the things that Sunny Daly does is really to provide through the Community Foundation for Nantucket a way in which people can do it. Somebody who did it from the 1890s, who is now
right. That's an incredible example.
That's a classic example. So the Community Foundation is really I really describe it as the way in which you can really make that kind of local support, no matter what the organization is, be there forever. So thank you very much, Janice, for coming in.
It was a pleasure.
Yet again.
Part two.
But once again, now we'll see. I mean, if the ratings are really high,
we'll come back.
We'll even bring you back again. Sunny, thanks once again for doing this.
My pleasure.
We hope this information has been helpful to you. We'll look forward to seeing you on the next installment of Giving Back. Thanks very much.